in today's session, what we are going to understand is we are going to understand how we can automate our task with the help of recording macros. Okay, and I'll also explain you the visual basics environment, how it works and how it looks and all, and how we can use it in our practice. Okay, so when you talk about visual basics, every Excel has visual basics. Okay, the first step that you need to understand is that in order to see how visual basics environment looks, you can just if you all are on this particular sheet, you just need to press Alt F11. The moment you press Alt F11, can you see a separate window getting created? This is there are certain basics which you need to remember in any programming or coding interface. Okay, like any language as such, even if you talk about Excel VBA or Visual Basics application, or you talk about any kind of application like JavaScript or any other language as such, every programming language has its own integrated development environment. Okay, now this is a kind of IDE for Visual Basics, although it looks very boring and outdated, but we just need to go with the application as such, because the interface seems to be very outdated in comparison to other programming languages. So I'll just explain you how it exactly works. Whatever task you do in Excel, whatever task, even if you do a selection, even if you type anything in Excel sheet, or do any kind of formatting, apply colors, or change the format, change the font style, everything gets recorded in this particular VB environment. Okay, and this is nothing. You should not take any stress on your mind that how it is looking and what am I going to do with this. But this is simply just a kind of a tool, which is useful for us to understand how Excel works behind. So VB is basically the background activity which gets captured into the Visual Basics. So whatever you do in Excel, it gets captured in Visual Basics. Okay, so now there are different tools, as you also see that you have in Excel, like you have File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Debug, Run, and these are various tools. So we won't be using all of these, which is not really required, because this may be involved in high level of programs or coding. So now whichever workbooks you have, even if you have all the active workbooks in your which we have opened and all, so it gets reflected in this particular project VBA window. So this is called as project VBA window. Then we have all below certain attributes related to, like for example, if you're working on any kind of VBA project, so you can, like for example, if you want to work on any module, you can get all these configurations enabled in that. So for example, if you want to enable pivot table, so you can do it with the help of true or false, so whether you want it or not, or you want to enable auto filter. So these are certain kind of tools which are there in Visual Basics environment. So if we will be using some of them, not now, and these are certain controls which we can say in your workbook. These are the worksheets which we have in that particular workbook. So these are different sheets which are there in this particular workbook which we have opened on Advanced Excel Day 7. Now always remember that how to identify whether this Excel is Excel is macros enabled or not. You'll always see whenever you have the name of the worksheet or the name of the workbook and it is followed by .Excel SM. Okay, now Excel SM means that it is macro enabled. Okay, and if it is only normal Excel, it will be .XLS. Okay, now This is particularly where we generally do the coding part. This is the place where when we insert any module, you will find a lot of coding taking place over here, or whatever activities we do, it gets captured in that particular module. Okay. For example, now we do not have any module over here. Module is where we generally do the coding part in VBA. I told you, like, in case if you want to now, all the programming or coding will happen in this module. So we are going to insert a module for this. So when you open any module, it will start with module 1. Now module 1 is nothing but all the macros or any kind of recording which you do in macros that gets recorded in modules. So you can add multiple modules. You can name the modules. Like, for example, if you want to rename this module, you can do it with the help of this particular property window which we have in module. So you can, instead of module, you want to name, say for example, any kind of name. Say for example, relative reference. Okay. Relative. So we can name this module as, so the moment, okay, it's not okay. So whenever you're naming anything in any thing, we don't have to really apply any space. Okay, so that's how we work in VBA. There should not be any space in the letters, okay, or any string which you are using. Even if it applies whenever you are using any kind of macros, there shouldn't be any kind of space in between. Now, whenever we write any programming in VBA, okay, so it starts with something kind of sub. This is called as procedure. So the procedure is where we basically develop any kind of codes or any set of instructions which we give to Excel to execute it and run that procedure. The procedure always starts with sub. Say for example, I want to start a procedure or any macros. Say for example, relative reference, which we have already written. I'm just giving an example, although we'll be doing it in practical way. So relative, we don't have to apply any space. So relative reference, just that's it. So the moment you hit enter, you can see it has automatically created this end sub. So whatever you do in the VBA coding environment, it is done within this procedure. So it is called as, it starts with sub, the name of the macros which you are running. It will start with open and close ended thing, and then it will end with sub. So it will end the sub. Okay, so that is how the procedure is run in VBA. Now let's close this window and let's move to our Excel sheet. Now I've created various sheets for our practice today. Now, as I told you, the main thing that we are going to use today is how to record macros. Okay. Now, as I told you, we would be having a lot of tasks which we do on regular basis in Excel, and that's how we need to automate it. Okay. We don't want the same things, because we may work on the same format. Like for example, I have this format. I'm getting this report every day, or maybe every week, or every 2 days, or whatever the case may be, and it has the same content, it has the same formatting to be applied every day. I'm investing almost 5 to 10 minutes of my time, or maybe 5 minutes on a max, on setting the format and aligning the cells and applying those bold and italics kind of stuff over there. So I want to save my valuable time. I do not want to waste my time as such, and I would instruct Excel to do it on my behalf, or rather VBA to do it on my behalf. So how to do it? Let's run a simple macros, okay, which we are going to call it as record macro. Now, whenever you are applying macros or recording macros, you need to be careful and first let's see, do you see this developer tab in your menu bar, on your menu
No,
bar?
sir.
Okay, So
No,
what you
sir.
need to do, you need to enable this developer tab. So to do that, it's a very simple process, because developer tab will help you to use your macros or run your macros. Okay, or by default, this sheet is saved as .xlms. You can just go to file option. Okay, now you just need to, in order to enable your developer tab, you just need to go to options. Can you go to file, go to options? Okay, and then you need to go to customize ribbon. Can you see customize ribbon? Now mine is and in this particular customized ribbon on the right hand side, you just need to check the developer option. Did you do it? For example, I'll just do one simple macros over here, and I will run this macro in this particular tab as well. Okay, and then we are going to do a different recording of macros on different sheets as well. And so we need to just understand how we can apply macros over here. Okay, now keep your cursor over here. Now whenever you are applying macros, you need to be very careful by that you should not click anywhere in any other cell, because that whatever activity you do, it all gets recorded in that macros. So in case if you are typing anything wrong or applying a wrong formula, it all gets recorded, and then when you run the macro, then you might face some problem that it is not executing or giving me the exact result. So we'll have to be little careful when we run macros. Okay, so I'll keep this, maybe I'll just have to do a kind of alignment. I'll add some colors to this particular column header. Then I'll just highlight total with some bold and give it some kind of a effect with bold format, and ensure that this report looks a little presentable, because right now it's little untidy and it doesn't look good. Okay, so I'll just click on this cell from where I want to start with the macros. As you have already activated your developer tab, so we'll go to the developer tab. Now in developer tab, it is all about how we perform operations in macros. Okay, so there are a lot of other tools which we are going to see later on, and how we can apply it. Okay, so now the first step would be you have this Visual Basics and all that we already used. How to go to Visual Basics. If you are not able to go, and if you do not want to use shortcut like Alt F11, you can directly go to developer tab and go to Visual Basics. So it will open the Visual Basics window, and where you can see all the macros and your modules which are there in this particular workbook. But now for time being, we are just going to use the recording macros option. Now what we are going to first do is we are going to simply apply a normal macros. Okay, a normal macros, and then we are going to see how we can apply the same style in different sheet as well. Okay, so first we are just going to apply simple macros, and then we are going to do a kind of a relative referencing of macros. Okay, now first I'll click on this cell. Everyone please be here on this cell. Go to record macros. Now the moment you click on this record macros, you will see this particular window getting popped up. Now it will, by default, it will give you a name as macro 1, because the number of times you keep using record macros, or it will start naming accordingly. So this is the first time that I'm using macros in this workbook. So it has given by default the name as macro 1. Now you can rename it if you do not want macro 1. You can very well go ahead and rename it. Like for example, I just want to name it formatting. Okay, so I'll just name it as formatting, because I'm going to do a simple formatting. So I'll just say simple formatting. I'll add simple. Now whenever you're naming any macros, so just be careful that don't apply any space in between. Okay, you should not have any space in the name of the macro, because that's not allowed. Okay, You cannot also start any macro name with any alphabets, any kind of numbers. It should always start, but later on if you want you can add numbers, but at the beginning you cannot add any number. Okay, so these are few things which you need to take into consideration. So I cannot say 01 simple formatting. I can write simple formatting 01, that's fine, but I cannot write 01 simple formatting. It should always start with an alphabet, and then you can probably add any kind of numbers of your choice. Are we clear? Then we can either give a shortcut key if you want. It's not mandate. It's absolutely as per your discretion. If you do not want any shortcut key to be applied, it's completely fine. Or else we can even just say, in case if I just want to run the macro using shortcut keys, I'll just have to press any key like Control Shift, whatever the case may be, but don't use something like Control V or because the functions are already used or already inbuilt in Excel. Like Control V is always a paste function, or Control C is always copy. So you don't have to use those kind of shortcuts. But if you're not comfortable, if you think that I won't be able to remember those shortcuts, so it's completely fine. You can skip this process. Now it says that store macro in this workbook. So I want this macros to be applied in this workbook itself because I'm working on this workbook. It also gives you other options that do you want to apply macro in new workbook or personal macro workbook. So I'll just go with the default option, which is macro this workbook. Now you can add some certain descriptions if you want that. Okay, I want to know what exactly this macro does. So you can add some description for your reference, or else you can skip it. Say for example, if you want to add any description stating that okay, this is the macro which will do some kind of formatting on this particular sheet or any kind of such report, so that is absolutely fine. Maybe any user other than you, if they are using macro on this workbook, they can recollect, okay, you have applied this macro for this reason, so that's absolutely fine. Otherwise you can just skip it. Okay, so I'll just say okay. The moment I press okay, the macro will start its recording. Okay, so it has shown me this particular tab that now the macros is getting recorded. So I'll start with the first step. Now as my cell is in this, I'm highlighting this particular column header, so I'm just going to select this entire report. Okay, see what all steps I'm doing. I'm just being very careful in my selection. I'll just select the entire report. Now I'm going to do a center alignment, so I'll go to Home tab. Then I'm just going to do the center alignment. So it has given me the center alignment. Now I want to add certain borders to it, so I'll go to the borders and I'll just click on all borders. So it has given me a kind of border effect to my data set. Then I also want these columns to be highlighted with some color. So I'll take yellow or any other color of my choice. Say for example, I take this. I want the column headers to be in bold. So I'll press the bold key, so that has highlighted. And then I want this total to be highlighted in bold, as I already mentioned. So that's it. I will stop the macro. Now to stop the macro, either you can see this stop button at the bottom where you have all the sheets names, or you can also go to developer tab and you can go and press the button called as stop recording. So the moment you stop the recording, the macro has been recorded, and in order to view the macro, whichever you have used, you can go to the macros option over here, and you will see that this macro has been recorded with the name simple formatting. Now if I want to run this macro over here in this sheet, say for example, I go to macro run, it won't. Okay, it has run over here because it has taken the relative reference of this particular macro. So see, I have saved my time in doing it because I wanted to do the same thing in this particular sheet as well, and I did it over here, but it also executed in this particular sheet because it has taken the proper relative reference of that. It has taken the absolute reference of that particular sheet, because I had applied the same macro which started from B3 cell, and here also it has started from B3 cell. If it would have been, say for example, I just copy paste this stuff. I'll just remove all the formatting first. I'll just remove all the formatting here. I'll make it simple as it was earlier. Say for example, I copy paste over here. Say for example, I do it here. Okay. Now let me see if the macro runs over here. I'll click on this cell. I'll go to the developer tab and I'll go to macros. This is the macro which I created, and I'll run it. So what is that? What it has done? It has only run in this particular cell. It has not done the same function in this cell because I have not used the relative reference for macro. So what has happened? Macro has got recorded and it will function only in this particular cells. In these particular cells, it won't go and do the same function in this cell because I haven't instructed the macro that you have to use relative reference. So the moment you go to record macros, just simply click on record macros, it will do the same function in those particular cells itself from where you have started the operations. But if you want to do and record or run the macro in another cell or in different cells rather, you won't see that macro would do the same functions for those particular cells because we have only used absolute reference. Do you know that we used absolute reference in Excel? Everyone remembers, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So absolute reference means what? The cell would be fixed. Okay, it won't change whenever we are running or whenever we are dragging the formula down in Excel. The cell address would change because we are locking those cells or that particular cell with the help of function F4 or F4 directly. In the same way, macros by default does the operation of similar to what we do in absolute reference. It has to be instructed that as you have done the operation over here, or as you have done the formatting and you have recorded all the stuff over here, I want the same thing to be done in this cell itself or in this particular range itself. Okay, so for that, in order to achieve that feed, you have to run the macro by using relative reference. So there is one option before running the macros, or before recording the macros rather. You have to first click on this button and then you have to press recording. So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to run the macros with relative reference and then see if it works or not. So I'll just again go to format and I'll convert these cells in a normal way as it is. Okay. Now I'm going to use another macro. So again, I'm going to keep my cell in this particular row. I'm going to go to developer tab. Then before recording macros, I'm going to press this button, use relative references. This relative reference. Now, the moment I click this, it gets highlighted. And then I'm going to go to record macros. This time I'm going to rename as absolute reference. I don't want to use any shortcut as of now, but I can also give you a better way of applying macros. So I'll show you the best way of applying macros. Instead of going to the macro window and then running the macros separately, there is also a better way instead of using shortcuts also. So I'll show you how it can be done. Now this time I've just named this macro as absolute reference and I'll press OK. Now my macro has started recording whatever I'm doing in this particular sheet. So I'm going to first select the entire data. I'll go to home tab. I'll do the center alignment Then I want borders to be added. So I'll click on borders. Then I want the column headers to be highlighted in bold, and then I'm going to give a color which I have already chosen, and I'm going to highlight the total with bold. That's it. And I'm going to stop the macro by going to developer tab, stop recording. Now it has stopped recording, so I'm done with my task. Now I'm going to see if it can do the same thing over here. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to click over here and I'm going to go to the macro option. Now this time I'm going to use the relative reference and see if it can work in the same way what it did in this particular table. So I'm just going to run it. So see, it has done the same task what it did in this particular table. So now the macro, it gets saved permanently in the workbook, so you don't have to really recreate the macro again and again. So you just need to do one thing, that instead of going to that particular developer tab and then going to macros and then clicking on that particular macros and then running it, I will give you a best way of doing it. So you just need to go to, again I'm showing you, go to the developer tab. Now this time I'm going to insert button. Now everyone knows what is a button. Now it's a kind of a, a kind of a small step that we would be doing so that we can easily assign the macro. Now moment you click on the button and the moment you're trying to give a kind of a the address to that particular button, that where it exactly needs to be placed, it will ask you that which macros needs to be assigned. So first I will click on the simple formatting button, and I want to assign this button the macros, which is simple formatting, which we already did. That was the absolute reference macro. So this button gets created. Now this is called as button 1, but I don't want it to be called as button 1. I can rename it, saying that I can just go inside and I will rename it as let's say simple macros. Okay, simple macro. That's it. Now if I just again I'll just remove all the formatting which I applied over here. I'll just go to this format table. I'll just remove all the format, and let's see if it is able to do it. I'll just click anywhere in the screen and I'll just click simple macro. So see, it has just worked in this particular cell because it has recorded the absolute reference. So it will work only in this particular cell address. Now I'm not required now to go to the developer tab, run the macros, or select the macros first and then run it. A simple click of a button does the job for me.